Hi everyone, this is going to be a video for the sign of Virgo. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. So Virgos, I feel like the number 7 is it's very prominent right now for you guys. Like 7 just keeps popping in my mind. Um, there's also a lot of reminiscing. I feel like you're reminiscing about a connection. You're reminiscing about like fun times that you had in a connection. Not a This is a recent connection. Like you could have met somebody and then like separated from them, or like you're at a distance from somebody who you've recently been connecting with over the last couple months, weeks, days. It's recent, but there's like a reminiscing type of energy about it where it's like you're like thinking and like remembering like funny moments or like things that made you smile, but you're also seeing something differently from a different perspective. So Virgo, you have to love yourself first. So your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So I feel like you guys are, that's way too many. I feel like Virgos have been on a self-love journey for a while now. At least Virgo energy. I mean, it is really like the Hermit energy. It's Virgo energy. It's about health. It's about taking care of yourself. It's about, really going inwards, doing the work. There's a lot of chemistry between you and someone. There's a strong connection that you have here, but there's a lesson immediately right off the bat that like pops up to me, and it's a lesson about like loving yourself first. Like you were put in a connection, and then I feel like you had to learn that like even though you're connecting with this person, like you have to realize that you can still be alone too. Like there's something like that here, like with a separation involved or like distance between you and another person, but there's a reason for it. Like it's like a I'm just hearing connection test. I don't know what that is. Like connection test. I don't know. It's like software. Like I don't know what that is. Maybe you or somebody's like into computers or whatever that might be. And see, separation card just popped right out. So time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So I was already kind of picking that up, where there's a lesson in here where it's like you and the person who you're connecting with, like you have to also learn how to stay optimistic here, because this is also sticking out to me. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance, which correlates to love yourself first, because like in this lesson it's about knowing that regardless of what connection you're in, you're always okay by yourself. You're always like good by yourself. Like you're 100%, like you're good, like you're sailing, like you're reading books, you're doing your thing, you got your self-care under control. You're doing the things that you love to do. Maybe you love to work out, maybe you love to take walks in the evening or in the morning, whatever it might be. It's like you're making time for yourself and you're implementing it, and it's becoming a part of like your everyday, like it's like your everyday routine. And so now it's like, okay, so now that you've met this person over the last couple months or whatever the case might be, it's a recent connection, but this connection is obviously very strong. It's very magnetic. There's a chemistry here. You're very drawn to this person, but now here's a separation where it's like it's testing your self love. It's testing your self care. Like put yourself first. Like I know it might be like kind of a hard concept to understand, or like a kind of like an obtuse way of thinking about it, but it's kind of like one of those things where even though like it's like practicing non-attachment, you know what I mean? It's like really practicing non-attachment, like being okay with what comes and goes, embracing the moment for what it is, embracing the time that you have, embracing the separation that happens, embracing the healing that takes place in between, embracing the lessons that take place in between, learning to not be unhealthy, not you're like learning how to not have unhealthy attachments, if that makes sense at all. So not only are you implementing it, but you're also attracting people who are also vibrating at that same like frequency. So this is a good thing. Like it's a shitty thing, but it's also like, okay, like at the end of the day you're still fine. Like at the end of the day you're still 100, you're still taking care of yourself, you're still putting yourself first. So now you can really make room for somebody else in your life because you have it down. Like you're like, you know what, I come first. And even in a relationship with somebody, or even in a connection with somebody, I still have to put my self-care first, because that's what's important, like regardless of who or who isn't in your life. Like your self-care comes first, your self-love comes first, that shit comes first. So That's the bottom line. I feel like a lot of this lesson that the both of you are going through is leveling up in that area for the both of you. Like, not only are you being challenged in the area of self-love, but this person's being challenged in the area of self-love. And it's like closing out final chapters. Like, there's something here that still is in the process of being closed out, but it's being worked through because the chemistry here is very strong. And regardless of it, I'm being shown magnets, so no matter how far away you guys are going to come back together. So, or whatever the case may be, like, it's gonna, like, you're gonna attract something back to you. I'm just hearing like que sera, sera. I don't know, I just keep hearing that. There's something very sensitive. Watch your posture, Virgos. So, we have the Two of Swords. So you're clearly at some type of a mental crossroads. Not sure which way to go, not sure what to think. You have a decision to make here. You have the Three of Swords. Shit. This is not the energy that I was picking up on. Actually, this actually makes sense because you made a decision here to love yourself first, which, and it did, like, I see stumbling. There's a decision that was made to put yourself first, resulted in the Three of Swords. Obviously, there are healings that need to take place. I don't look at this card as a third party. Shit. You could have been connecting with an Aries, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Emperor energy, a little bit older, established foundation already. I feel like this is a very stubborn individual as I'm looking at them, especially behind the Three of Swords here. It's like this person, like, if this person feels challenged, like, they'll do something to, like, one-up you. Like, I don't know what that energy is, but it kind of, like, really pisses me off because I don't like shit like that. But this energy is, like, I like, you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you worse. Like, or, like, you posted this picture and I saw this, so I'm gonna post something that grabs your attention just as bad. Like, whatever the case may be, it's like this person interprets things as, like, signals, and then they respond, like, very childish. Sometimes, not all the time. Ego. Like, there's a lot of ego here. But I feel like there's a lot of chemistry, like, regardless. I'm also picking up on another energy here that's separate from that. This is an entirely different energy. There's an Emperor energy here who is in the process of healing from a situation that was like a Three of Swords for them. And they've made a decision to, like, really embrace healing, like, to really embrace putting themselves first, to really embrace slowing down, taking time, pulling the swords out of their back, metaphorically. Okay, so, well, that twists things a little bit. So if you're dealing with a romantic connection, Virgo, either you're in Emperor energy or you're in Queen of Wands here. This Queen of Wands energy, there's another story we got going on here, another energy that's kind of coming into the mix, so bear with me. This Queen of Wands might have been the person who made a decision to put themselves first, whoever this Queen of Wands is. This Emperor is watching this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands is healing from a Three of Swords moment because this Queen of Wands had chemistry with an Emperor who they're currently in separation with. But there's time invested, there's a lot, like there's something invested in this. Like they've worked together on something, there's something here that's able to be flourished. This Queen of Wands energy is at two minds of something. Like they're at their Three of Swords. They're obviously like emotionally done. Like emotionally cannot handle anymore. Like this Queen of Wands, despite still being in the Queen of Wands energy, is like powering through this Three of Swords and is ready to make a decision. It's kind of like is this worth my time investing, or should I cut this out because of the Three of Swords? Like, there might be a message that comes through. So, the energy that has the Three of Swords is releasing the Three of Swords energy, and then here comes the Three of Cups. Over separation. So this could either indicate a reconciliation with the Sun card at the bottom of the deck here. That actually makes me feel a lot better about this card falling this way now, because at first I was a little bit hesitant. And so if your energy is in the Queen of Wands, like the feminine energy, like coming out of like the Three of Swords, needing to make a decision whether or not to put yourself first, like you might have pulled back from this energy and been like, I have to put myself first because I can't deal with this, like I have to heal. Like whatever went down between the two of you, there were things that needed to be released because it was almost to the Ten of Wands. Like this is something that like was a lot to kind of go through. Like there could have been other people involved, there could have been things that needed to still be released, but whatever it was, it needed to be let go of. And so there's a healing that needed to take place, but I see something being released. But I also see this Queen of Wands kind of sitting here with this Two of Swords, which I'm going to pull separate cards on, because I feel like this Queen of Wands is like contemplating something, thinking about something, while in the process of like self-love and like being like, hey, like I gotta love myself first. I have to put myself first because I can't deal with what this person is throwing at me right now. This Emperor energy could have been very stubborn. They could have been entertaining other options. They could have been non-committal. They could have been very in and out. They could have been investing in other opportunities. They could have been focused on work, other people, their friends, the community around them. They could have been preoccupied with that. So I want to pull cards for those two things here. Like you're trying to figure something out. Like I think you're trying to figure this Emperor out. But see, you have a Sun card at the bottom of the deck. So either way, this is going to it's something's going to be positive at the end of the day. Tell me about this Queen of Wands with the Two of Swords. Oh, that's way too many cards. Just Queen of Wands, Two of Swords, Three of Swords. Okay. Tell me about this Emperor. Holy shit. Okay, so Ten of Wands. Okay, I was not ready with the Devil. Okay, so the Emperor definitely had something toxic going on. The Sun card wanted to fall back out over top of the Emperor. As I'm clarifying the Emperor, the Three of Cups, that confirms to me that this is not a third party. This is more reconciliation. This is more wanting to invest time, wanting to be happy, wanting to celebrate. Judgment, making a judgment call. And that's on the Emperor. So this person sees an investment, they see an opportunity. But this Queen of Wands energy is in the process of healing from a connection. And it could be with this person. You have the High Priestess here. So the Emperor is following the High Priestess. So with the High Priestess crowning the Emperor, that tells me that this Emperor energy, this Aries energy, the one that's going to be taking action, because the Emperor takes action, but they take action on their own time. You see what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. This Emperor wants to take action to some sort of like reconciliation investment. They want positivity. They don't want to fight. They don't want to argue. They want things to be released. I don't see an apology. I don't know why I feel that in that direction, but this Emperor, it might not be a person who is going to right off the bat be expressive about emotions, but more so be like, I want to work this out. Like, so good luck with that. This Queen of Wands energy, when I clarified the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords, the Two of Cups and the Star card came out. So I feel like this Queen of Wands still has hope for this connection or for a connection, but this is something that definitely wreaked havoc in the heart space. Like these Three of Swords and the Queen of Wands, like, that's no fun. You know, like these Three of Swords need to go away. But I feel like this Three of Swords is being confused as well. Like, it's kind of like, you're going to put me in this position, I'm going to put myself first. Like, watch me go get this. Like, I'm the Queen of Wands. Like, I can do, like, I got this. Like, I got this. Like, so you're putting on a good front. Like, if you're the Queen of Wands, like, I don't think anybody knows that you're upset. Like, if you're coming out as the Queen of Wands here, you're keeping this to yourself. And you're going through this, like, in private. But you have this Emperor that's coming towards you. And I feel like it's very slow moving, or it's been slow to get here, but I feel like this person's been keeping an eye on you. And I feel like whatever gesture, whatever message, it's going to be very small. Like, it's not going to be a very grand gesture. It's going to be very, like, hey, how are you? That type of deal. But I feel like with the Queen of Wands, with the Two of Cups and the Star card, I feel like there's still hope for this connection. It's just being torn, being split, being... See, that's why I'm like, why are you still holding on to hope with this? Like, what's holding on to hope here? It must be the chemistry between the two of you, but something happened that caused the separation. But, I mean, granted, you'll know your situation if it's worth it or not. Obviously, if it's toxic, you'll know. So I don't recommend that, but something's going through a transformation. You have the Death card here. For me, the Death card speaks a lot about transformation. This is a very slow-moving transformation, but this is coming out of the dark, too. So this is something that's been very, like, it's been a process. But I feel like you're going to give birth to something new. You could even end up pregnant, even, especially with the Page of Pentacles here. You could end up having a child who is an earth sign, or you are pregnant with a child, and it's going to be an earth sign. Earth sign baby. There's a lot of healing that's taking place too within like the solar plexus area with emotions. There's a transformation. But it's like finally deciding to like get on with something new, or like to transform a situation, to move forward from a situation, to kind of just say, hey, like, hold on, let me get some clarity here with this. Six of Swords. Ace of Cups, yeah. It's saying, hey, like, unconditional love all the way around. I feel like you're filling your cup up first in order to get through this situation. Like, I feel like this has been a long journey, like a long lesson for somebody of like learning how to balance like other people, getting hurt from other people, but like loving yourself through the process of it. And I feel like this has been a really long, unruly like set of challenges between like romantic partners and like people, like whether it's always been a fight for you to like get people to recognize your worth. Like, I don't know why I feel like that. Like, I feel like it's always been a battle to get other people to see your value, and now you're finally taking a stance where it's like finally you're ending some type of cycle, or you're coming out of some type of a cycle where you're not going to have to battle people anymore. Like you're not going to have to like argue why you're worth it. Like and I know that that sounds crazy, but there's like an energy here where it's like you don't have anything to prove, and you're recognizing that, and you're like, you know what, I am enough, and I am enough to walk away, and I love myself enough to say, hey, this is not serving me in this current moment, and I need to take care of myself, because I'm going to invest in my money, I'm going to invest in myself, and I'm going to invest in my ability to create a foundation for me, because at the end of the day, it comes down to me, no one else, me, because you are responsible for making yourself happy. No one else is. You are responsible for that. So there's a recognition of that, of being like there's a quicker bounce back to things, like this healing with this connection. Like, I don't know, like this will resonate for some of you, and like you guys will understand if it's meant for you, but this is like one of those things where like you really have to understand where this person was at in order for you to like be this understanding, or to have that type of a hope for something, especially with the Three of Swords. But then that kind of makes me wonder if the Three of Swords wasn't more oriented around the healing aspect of it, especially with the Ace of Cups here. But somebody feels like they definitely missed out on an opportunity because they were juggling. They had a lot of things that they had going on. It could have been a lot of things orienting around work. And because of that, like this person let it overwhelm them. Like they took on too many things. Like this person was preoccupied with finances and work and all the things that an emperor is preoccupied with. Like, you know, that emperor type of energy. Like this person was preoccupied, and I think that they're recognizing that they missed out on that opportunity, and because they recognize that they let something come in between it, and that's why they're so stressed out, this is like becoming a burden to them. But see, the Sun card being here tells me that at the end of the day, there is going to be a positive outcome. And I feel like with this Emperor here bringing, like with the crown, with the crown, with the Sun card crowning the Emperor here, it's kind of like this Emperor's bringing in the Sun. Like you could be connecting with a Leo. Like this person is bringing in a lot of happiness, is bringing in a lot of joy, is moving towards reconciliation. And I feel like this other energy with the Queen of Wands doesn't see it coming. Or like you're not aware of it quite yet because you're still preoccupied with this Three of Swords energy, Two of Swords energy, and because you're still in the process of learning this lesson, you don't see this person coming. You see what I'm saying? Because you could be upset about this same person, and then all of a sudden, like as soon as you hit a certain point, like it's like all of a sudden something happens and it shifts, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, or you could be like healing around something else. It doesn't necessarily have to be this person, but you do have an Emperor energy that's coming towards you. But I feel like you might be a little bit preoccupied to be like keeping up with it. You see what I'm saying? Like you might not see it coming, or maybe it's being hidden from you because, and now the High Priestess isn't here. Actually, the High Priestess is out here. So actually, let me rephrase that. This actually might be hidden from you, especially with this separation card here with Judgment. This might be hidden from you. And it's because there are lessons that are involved here. So your best advice is to keep focusing on that self-love. Like, build yourself. Like don't worry about these other connections and shit. Like, build yourself. Like, build your own connections that, like, are meaningful to you, like, with your family and your friends. And, like, start building with the things around you and, like, what is present in this present moment. Like, don't live in the future. Don't live in the past. The only thing that exists is right now in this current moment, and you have a choice to make. And your choice is, what are you going to do with this current moment? Are you going to stay in the past and keep reliving emotions that you should not be reliving? Or do you want to step out into today or right this very second and say, hey, like, I love myself enough to say that I deserve to be happy in every single moment, regardless of what's going on, regardless of who's here, who's not here, regardless of romance, regardless of that shit. Like, you do you. That's what it comes down to. So, I hope that these messages help. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys for the likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. I wish you guys the best, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care.